All right, so um, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your host D Lewis. We're gonna be talking about a few different things here, real quick. Um, but the biggest thing that I want to talk about is I want to kind of talk about music and a couple of different things that I've been working on recently. Um, And I will play some music for you guys just so y'all can get a kind of a vibe of what I've been kind of working on. Um, Still kind of tweaking a couple of different things, but this is so far what I got. And I kind of want to talk about the whole process because, like I said, my passion is writing. Like, I used to do music in um like in 2008, between 2008 to 2012, and long process. Everything was cool. Wasn't I actually enjoyed recording myself, but the problem that I came across and that I had um was um so the main problem that I came across was it was the um, like I kind of didn't like the fact of how was I going to try to get things mix and master. So me personally, I felt like that was an issue that I had to deal with because you gotta, if you don't know somebody who can mix and master, then you pretty much on your. That's just something that I had to do, figure it out. Um, but so with that being said, got introduced to music at a young age. Used to do a lot of recording, trying to figure it out, trying to get instrumentals. I always had a passion for writing. Um, I always used to ask people for seeking others for advice for inspiration. And I think in 2024, I just started to seek inspiration from just things that I was coming across and things I was sitting on. And basically, that's how I got back into it. So, like I said, I got a little bit of new music for you. This is just some stuff that I'm working on.
Yeah, yeah. Go tell our souls to find their roots. Genesis 2, chapter 7, if they need some proof. Detox a few off that juice from forbidden fruit. Complicated because you were compensated. I see no truce. Never surrender my truth. Life lessons in this confession booth. Free my ancestors from that southern noose. Y'all season be the reason I'm chucking the deuce. I pray your day is not gray off the goose. The sun will rise when my sky sing the blues. I'm headliner, airliner coming out of retirement. Trying to get your spirit lifted like I was born on Christmas because I'm gifted. Freedom to those who were stuck in the temp service and never pivot. Listen to Heat in Hell's Kitchen, that melting pot too hot to get out like an amphibian. Too late to recognize you were replaced like Auntie Vivian. Parables for all the children who don't realize the state we live in. Demons get possessive when you sipping on that gin to break addiction. Strength comes from within when they misled. I proceed to give you anger from my pen. Penitentiary from elementary. Statue of Liberty never stood a chance when people fucked over a piece of land and they call it romance. Cowboys and Indians, how many seen dollar signs and took the advice? It's heritage. Clouding your lens to disrespect my people, then it's no respect for your man's choices. So many, but I'm cool with throwing some hands. Live long enough to realize it don't go as it plans. Protests started marching until a few sell out over bans. Teen takeovers is not a new trend. It's gonna take this generation to stop kicking the can. If love them all for discipline, when hope is locked in a chance. I'll find rest when participation points finally ends. Conversations about know is how it begins. You did your job as a parent, but steady they friends. The world was watching us through binoculars, moving like the movie Mafia, but no Rico is stopping us from achieving me in my prime, transforming the optimist, optimizing my vision. The best sword is my vernacular, trying to light the way through a sea of Draculas. Season Louis spread himself thin, simple math, I'm doing calculus. The rate of change, analyzing, placed in my calendar. Be bold off or rebase the lies. So with the truth they can't challenge it, driven to make change the mind. The Chevy challenges, forgiveness can wash away all your damages. Mistakes made and judged in front of cameras. I seek to speak to your soul, but I have to get through all the handlers. Greed, jealousy, envy, take turns being managers. So many to be exact. How do you react to all these scavengers? One then can cast them out, word of mouth. That is sinners built in the south where there already been a drought that don't stop the youngsters thirsting over clout. Don't let a moment chasing smoke have you frozen in the clouds. Who recall snowfall when everything is going down? Seasons of opportunity to turn his life back around. Funny how God always finds us in the lost and found. Chasing money, running from those you owe money. Life a rat race, so many Tom and Jerry's throwing money like it's attached to a bungee. Common words people overuse. Do you love me? Do you love me? If out of self was perceived to be ugly, do you love me? If my vision was persistent to get, but tonight we might go hungry. I'd rather wash you from your troubles than air out your dirty laundry. Who gon' offer protection when you're drunk off at party? Too many Harveys, too faceted, entertain these Harleys, Quinn. How many nights going with a robbery? Enrich yourself so you don't end up in poverty. Two countries at war, treating the stray like property. Will peace break through the animosity? Do your age place a limit on wisdom? Obviously, a young David to an old Saul brought more than just melodies and poetry. You can't lead your people to more casualty. To further your royalty, got so much to give back to charity.
All right, so that's one of my songs. And you know what? To be honest, the inspiration is just current events, a couple of different things that's been going on recently. And especially with I've been seeing all the stuff with teen takeovers. I'm seeing all the stuff with the injustice of the young man that was killed, shot in the back. And I felt like we've been here before, talked about this before, where you know it's like we keep going down the same path, um, and the solution is hard to get there because society will make parenting is tiresome. Get what I'm saying? Like we have a society built where it's not sustainable, where you're not making enough to where you have one person that can be home and pour into their child as much as they need to. And because of that, the outcome is you have a lot of people being raised off the internet. You got shorties watching shorties. And I think you got the outcome is it's a bad outcome. So, you know, the one thing that I've seen, and it's a common trend, is young people moving off emotion. Um, they might not have a father figure around, and they not have the proper guidance that they need. And instead of trying to move off of logic, they become prisoners of the moment, and they start to move off emotion. And this is just some of the things that I've been coming across and starting to see on a day to day. So, uh, like I said, it's a lot of people that I personally follow, and I know for a fact, like, the advice that they give is for an older group, older generation. But I always say, let's be mindful that it's young people that's watching this stuff and they become victims of it, and um, it's no filter on nothing. And I think that's the problem that I've seen where the system of, like, we live in a system of capitalism. It's where you know TV shows, movies, things on the internet, it will target your young people, your kids, your kin. And the problem is, there's no filter. All they see is money, all they see is dollar signs, and an outcome is your kid crashing out doing something that might land him on the news, or um, you know, he's doing something and he becomes a prisoner of the moment, or she becomes a prisoner of the moment. So it's like it's a personally, I think it's a generational curse that people fall victim to. But that generational curse is also, um, like I said, it's putting you against another individual. It's creating division. And if you know anything about the Willie Lynch theory, it's a way to divide people and conquer. So as much as you want to fight amongst each other, a lot of times you don't realize that the agenda of deceiving a large group of people is still taking place until you wake up and then you say, man, how did we get here? A lot of times I personally feel like the reason why I ever make the music that I make is because I look around and I see people who lost themselves. I see individuals who grow up and they're molded by what they seen on TV. Celebrities, movie stars, people who they choose to idolize. It can be a Kardashian, it can be a Jay-Z, it can be anybody. Personally, anybody. And I'm telling you, like, if you start to reflect these individuals and their traits, I'm like, you gonna run into scenario where you feel comfortable and you can't get no bailout, and nobody gonna bail you out because um this world wasn't made for you to be living and walking in the shoes of others and think that it won't be no consequence. I've seen too many people were like, oh, well, because they did it, I did it. And they don't understand why they might get in trouble and then the other person didn't. And I'm like, yo, you cannot put too much faith in trying to um walk in the shoes of others who do not have your best interest. And you start to idolize those individuals. So personally, um, like I said, I try to um, make positive music that can like I wanna mirror the 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 problems that I see on a day to day, so individuals can see it and for themselves, and they can realize like, man, you have an opportunity for self correction. You have an opportunity to move and be better, not for yourself, but for for the next generation that come behind you. It's a selfless mindset to do something for somebody that you might not ever meet. And I don't know how many people can do that, but that's the mentality that people should be trying to have, is that, hey, I'm gonna try to do something for the greater good of others who I might not ever meet in the future. And it's we live in a destination type of world, right? Where everybody want to glorify the destination, but they don't appreciate the journey that they go through on a day to day to get where they're going, just to get their bills paid, just to spend time with their loved ones. So, you know, um, like I said, man, like I've been in a scenario, especially like where, you know, like I said, people pushed agendas. They moved you, made you move off emotion. You thought you was, like I say, bigger than the program, and because of that situation, individuals, um, you know, fell victim to being a part of something that was destruction to their own communities. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like I used to watch, especially after what the George Floyd situation. I've seen brothers go out there peacefully protest, and that's their right. But then also, what I've seen is a bunch of people who would have masks on that wasn't brothers. Um, and they will come in there, not even from that town, not from that city, agitate, you know, and they will go and start riots by rage baiting people. People, that's why I say, when I say don't move off emotion, move with logic, I'm just saying, if somebody is rage baiting you. If somebody wants to make you move and be angry and crash out, lose everything that you worked for, the fundamentals of what your family has been building for yourself, like these type of things is going to set you back, but also the generation that comes behind you. Because all it takes is somebody to use you as an example. And like I always say, they monetize off of your misery. We live in a society where everything is placed on the internet and you might be judged 24/7 based on what is on the internet. You can make a post, you can make a video right now, and depending on what you say or what you do, your video might get judged, um 10 years from now, 20 years from now. They making a reactment, or somebody's doing a reaction video to something that you just said or something that you just did. So a lot of young people are falling victim to that trap. They might not have a big brother or a big sister, or a dad or a mom or an uncle or an auntie or somebody that's a role model that's going to tell them how they should be moving, and so they don't fall victim and becoming not just a statistic, but being judged by your peers. When they say judgment is coming, listen, judgment's gonna come in multiple different ways. But the first thing is definitely you gonna have, and you see today in today's society, is where I've seen individuals, adults, they go on these interviews, right? Speaking about Vlad, they will go and do a Vlad interview, and he gonna ask him all these questions. Now, the freedom of choice is to answer these questions. If it's truly behind you, you don't have to answer the questions. But they feel like they're in a safe place because they lived a life feeling comfortable, not knowing that what they might be saying will be used against them later on, and they still choose to do it. So it's the choices that we all make. And it's the things of, when I say it's generational, it's meaning it's nothing new under the sun. You still see the same problems, the same situations, same outcomes. You can't be putting yourself in the same scenario um and think you're gonna have a different outcome. Plain and simple. You wanna go about life and trying to lose weight, you wanna try to get healthier. Well, for one, you gotta eat healthier. For one, if you want to lose weight, you got to slow down on whatever you was eating, trying to do small portions, work out, exercise. Whatever things you were doing in the first place, you have to change that mindset. If you want to be somebody who is more creative when it comes down to making music, well, you need to for one, practice, but you also need to study different kinds of music just so you can have an understanding, a fundamental of what you're trying to get when you look for a certain kind of sound. Like, we have a society where a lot of people in today's society, young folks, don't realize the journey is just as important as the destination. Everybody wanted fast food. Everybody want things to be given to them and right now. And I'm like, yo, nah, man, sit back, appreciate the ride, pick up some things, some gems, learn from the mistakes of others in the past. Um, and like I say, get to it. You ain't gotta procrastinate. You ain't gotta sit on your hands and wait for somebody to do it for you. And I tell people now, like, Chat GPT, yes, it is a tool that people can use, that they can organize themselves if they properly use it as a functional tool. But it's going to get people in a way where they don't appreciate the journey, and they only looking for the outcome, and they might get dissatisfied when they get to their outcome and it's not what they expected, because they had no chance to get the life lessons that a journey will get you. But you get straight to the source, straight to the outcome, you gonna miss those life lessons that's gonna tell you how to be an adult. And like I said, I've seen people crash out because they was told no, they was told they can't, they was told, hey, you might have to do something that you might not want to do. It don't matter if it's a work environment. It don't matter if it's personal. Like these things that happen on a daily. And I'm just like, you gotta move different. You gotta want more for yourself. You can't be thinking that, everything's gonna be handed out to you. And you can't be moving in a certain kind of way where you feel like um um, you can rely on technology so much and be so dependent on just that to solve all your problems because you are you are at the whims of the person who created that technology. At the end of the day, if somebody say, "Hey," because it's their personal business, I'm gonna give you some free game on technology, a little bit about the government and how business work, right? So most people might put their faith in could be technology, right? And nothing is built to last, but also another thing is here we are built it is built based off of capitalism. So when you buy a car or you get a computer or you get ChatGPT software and you think, okay, when you first get it, the lifespan was working pretty smooth, everything was pretty good, golden. And then after a while you realize you need an update. You need to change something. You might need some maintenance. You might need to pay for an upgrade, pay a higher fee to get the same services that you've been getting. And the reality of it is, that's because it was designed that way. There's things in the past, especially from technology standpoint, that was fail proof. Like it would last forever. And you never had to worry about that being a thing. It wasn't an issue. But nowadays, it's a main issue. Like it's a lot of people that buy technology. You can buy a computer, and before you know it, your computer won't update because the the computer chip is outdated. And you like, well, hold up. This computer did everything that I needed it to do, and because they're trying to make a dollar off of you, they gonna feed you to say, hey, you need to get that update. But if you can't do the update, then you can't use your computer at all. And so they force you to go and buy something new. And then you're forced in a situation where you're chasing something that was working perfectly fine when you first got it and you had it for about like a 2 years, 3 years, and you had no issues. Same thing with a car. You get a car, take it off the lot, the value is already devalued by like $5,000 or more. And you know, before you even pay your car off, you still doing as so much maintenance on a car that you haven't even paid off yet. And the goal is they want you to buy back the car because they want to get you locked in on another car note. Like, yeah, they don't. It's cool to like people. The whole goal is not to have a car note, but if they can, they rather have you keep paying a car note because that interest is how they gonna make their money. Okay, simple. Same thing with a mortgage. You talk about buying a house, and you go ahead and get you a mortgage based on whatever the interest rate's in. I know sometimes people got fixed or they got a flat rate, but the way things is with things being high, if it's not a flat rate, then you paying more. You paying more. Depending where you at, your taxes might you can put all this money into your house and then you lose it due to taxes. So, I always say like it's set up designed to where you can't get comfortable because in the reality of it is the reality of it is like it's set up to where I personally believe it's set up to where um um it's to keep you in that state or get you more comfortable to a subscription based of living. And people might not know it. They think you might have ownership and you realize like, man, hold up, I thought I owned this property, and then you lost it to taxes because taxes are through the roof. oh man, I thought I had this car, but then you lost it because you probably had a delinquent payment, and you know they came and repoed your car. Or the fact that it broke down and the maintenance on it is so much that you can't afford it. Now you got to get something new. So what I'm saying is that's just the method of business, because business is trying to find ways that they can get so much money off of you. Now, with that being said, and we talked about the business aspect. So with that being said, um talk about the government. Government is supposed to work for the people. It is meant to be a tool um by the people to work for the people. That's why you pay individuals, and nobody would never have a complaint about paying their taxes, because it works for you. Now, if you say people have bragged and say, "Hey, such and such didn't pay to redo or remodel the White House, or he, paid out his pocket to do this, pay out his pocket to do that." Well, if they don't need you, and they don't need your tax money because they'll make their own, then you are going to lose whatever say that you thought you had when it gets down to certain decisions that's being made, because they'll realize they don't need you. So the difference, like most of like, for example, lately, um, they have downsized a lot when it came down to the government. They wanted to make it a form of small government, and also privatize a lot of those government jobs. And the problem with that is they don't move the same. If a private job says what they will allow and what they won't allow, that's their legal right to do so, because they work for themselves. They're doing a service for a group of people, but they don't have to choose regulations. They don't have to regulate to make sure whatever thing that they're doing is safe for the workers, or safe for the consumers. That's a given. That's a law that's put in place. And those things usually happen after there's some type of incident. So, you know, people gotta think and move with logic when it comes down to certain things that they might want. Because hey, you want to go about saying, how capitalism is made to be profitable. So if you want to say, well, I don't want the government controlling the making sure we got clean filtered water. Let's go to a private company, a private organization. They don't be surprised when they put something in there that is a filter, but it also might cause you cancer, or it might cause you you know you might get some form of condition. I don't know, diabetes. It can be anything, right? And all you got to realize is they might have took a shortcut, not doing the research or having the fundamentals of what the government offers. And that's the risk that you take. That is the risk that you take. So I think a lot of times people just gotta, again, don't be a prisoner of the moment. You gotta actually understand what you looking for and what you need from your government, because the second you offset it to a private company or private organization, that, for one, like I said, they hate unions for that reason. Because you want to increase the standard of whatever the worker is doing and whatever the consumer is getting. Um, but if you in a situation where, as a nation, you broke because you in so much debt, and they're downsizing a government and make it to a private organization, I'm telling you, you gonna have the worst outcomes. You don't even gotta look at it from a government standpoint. You can look at it from a business standpoint. If you have a business that is broke, is in the hole, is in a deficit, they owe more money than they're making. Um, Most likely you're gonna be getting some shortcut if it's on your food that you eating, the water that you drinking. If it's your shoes, is probably refurbished, reused. Um, you're not gonna get what you paying for, and that's just the reality of it. So I think just sometimes people get lost in a lot of different things. This is another song I got. I've been working on. Let me see here.
Yeah.
This ain't it. Let me see if I can find it. Is it this
Oh yeah. See the morning of Friday, got your head down. Bumping Sade, put you on free game now. Screaming parlay. Dodge games for a fair exchange off the Bombay. D Loui will forever put it down from night until the morning crackers day. We heating up like we just cracking, man. A water park is how it start. Cast away, babe. Bay each verse a satin sheet. Look how they lay. Live on through a song. I'm here to stay even when time's slipping away. We got a bond, hater gon' hate you. You bring me joy like a pastor, deep in this faith. When the son of man come again, just know we strengthen the base. Yeah, you the flower set free from a vase. You hold me down, I know we be in the case. When me around, no attitude stuck on your face. Offer 90 OJ, win face when I'm caged. 3 to be exact, I guess I'm stuck in my way. Been a dog, baby, I guess you picking up strays. We go in place, no more stuck in the days. When we touch down, these words jumping right off the page. Good energy, I don't need sage. You give me clarity, so I don't see half. Real love when you know it's not a phase. Take it when you under satin sheets. So let's go to a place where sand is under feet, baby. So take a walk with me. Here's some game on what you should do. If you just kicking it like you doing kung fu, ain't no way to this day that you ain't busting a move. If hoes in your circle, rethink them garden too. Stuck on code with opposition, breaking the rules. Used to throw hands, now they busting on fools. Try to break bread and end up dead on the news. This be the choices we choose. Survival, depend on everything that we do. Take motion to move, free game. Baby tryna get a buck off the tube. This not only fans pimping yourself out with some noob. Self-respect comes first, so the youth not confused. So many with nothing to lose. Don't let emotions when things get heated be the reason why you don't keep cool. Your greatest weapon was education, to take advantage of school. You will come across people who be passive and rude, selective when given an addicts. Walk with me, take a day trip and ride with me. I feel complete when you under satin sheets. So let's go to a place where sand is under feet, baby. So take a walk with me.
So that was called Satin Sheets. Like I said, man, like this is getting into like the relationship standpoint, right? Um, which there's a lot of individuals that I see who make content based on trying to do relationship content, and um, I always say the whole goal is for both sides. You want to seek a union. You want to seek marriage. You want to seek a covenant, and you want to seek a um, happy marriage, right? It's a give and a take. It don't mean that every single moment and every single time it's gonna be, happy or great. But it does mean that the moments that y'all have, y'all cherish, you can appreciate. And you are gonna have moments where you can celebrate each other and you know, you really feel like, man, this person got my back, I got their back. I'm here to make them smile. They're here to make me smile. And they're gonna make you feel better at the end of the day of whatever you choose to do. And the same thing. It's like the whole goal is to try to motivate each other, to push each other to be great because y'all building, y'all are a team, y'all are a union. We got this weird phase that I've seen going on. Don't I can't even say when it started. I want to say it went crazy during the pandemic. But before the pandemic, I think it was an issue where you had individuals who and I'm actually I think I would say this phase started when social media was blowing up and you had individuals who wanted to take advantage of um being on social media and entertaining females that is not even in the area, right? Uh Women that are putting themselves out to be flown out and go places that is not custom to their own neighborhood, their own block. And what that brings is you got a lot of individuals who are, for one, same pool, same party. They're just floating around and they're dating the same individuals. And you have this concept where everybody want to compare each other with somebody else because y'all have an unrealistic um personally, I think y'all have an unrealistic um uh reality when it comes down to dating. And that is because the simple fact um everybody think um they have no problems. They think they're flawless. They you have people that will, you know, if something goes wrong or if something happens, they don't look at it from a standpoint of they really don't look at it from a standpoint of what they actually try to make the sacrifice to stay within their relationship. They look at it like, oh man, they treat relationship like restaurants and fast food. Like instead of saying, okay, I messed up on this dish, but let me see if I can fix it up and make it better. They'll just go and find a different dish. And to be honest, it's because you are giving people access to so many options. So I'm thinking like the problem that I see this phase that this generation is going through, where the dating phase is just horrible, is because you got men who can see anything from around the world, too many options, and then you got women who also are putting themselves out to want to be flown out, and they're raising their expectations based on experiences that is was given to them because of social media. Like I think that's the problem that we fall into. And I always say, you measure things based on the outcome. You measure things based on, is it successful or is it not? Do you have more people married, or no? You have more broken up homes or no? Now, like, I'm not counting somebody who you did settle down and things happened. You know, moved in separate moved separate ways. I'm talking about those individuals that's stuck in limbo, that are dating pool, and they're just going around dealing with the same people over and over and over again. And every single, like, they ex look like they next, and it's a vibe of y'all chasing the same problems. I'm not even looking to see if y'all can find a better match. Y'all literally have a bunch of builder bears and y'all chasing the exact same problem. And I'm like, once a kid get involved, that needs to kind of simmer down. You need to kind of chuck it up as, hey, we're gonna try to make this into a win, or chuck it up as it might be a loss. And you gotta put your feelings aside and try to figure it out. But a lot of people don't want to do that. And like I said, it's always people that want to have these unrealistic expectations. And I always tell people, man, yo, time is short on this place. Time is short. And the more people um, realize that you start running into those. The wall is the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Plain and simple. That's the wall. It's the woulda, coulda, shouldas. I'm like, oh, you wish you would, you wish you could have, you wish you should have done that, and you start to live with regret and all those other things. And it's like you don't live for today because you so stuck on the past. And like I say, man, it's absolutely, you know, crazy from my point of view. Just because you got things that you could do to for yourself to where you can make changes and be a better person and you can get better outcomes. But if you chasing the superficial, like anybody who you initially meet ain't gonna have the best good intention for you. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Like they don't have the best intention for you. Don't let these individuals gas you up on social media. You know, people want to put batteries in your back to say, hey man, go ahead and do it. Why not? Go ahead and do this. Go ahead and do that. And the same individuals that was talking about the freak off, or they talk about Myrtle Beach Bike Week. They talk about the degeneracy. Sometimes these same individuals will be the same ones that will entertain, uh, you know, these same type of females, and you know, I'm be like, man, do y'all seek more attention than the women? And I'm like, that's the part that's crazy to me. Is like you focus on your purpose. All you got to do is make sure you know what you want to do in life. Focus on your purpose. Grow within your purpose. Find somebody who gonna rock out with you, who gonna stand with you, who gonna be a partner, that you can lift up and they can lift you up, and y'all grow together. As somebody who adds you peace, so you can add them peace. I always say if they're gonna bring toxicity to you, then you gonna reflect toxicity. You're gonna bring toxicity back to them. If they give you peace, then you gonna give them peace. We are truly reflections in this world. It's not a anytime you watch something online, you are motivated to do whatever you just watched. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So it's a psychological thing that people got to realize. People like, man, why is this individual, why is she doing this? Why is she acting out like this? And I'm pretty sure because she probably seen you act out a certain kind of way. That's why I say, like, you got to be a natural leader, especially if you are a man in a household. You have to know how to lead. And sometimes that's not to lead with emotion. That means sometimes you got to sit down with logic, rethink about stuff, and re strategize and then move. Plain and simple. It comes with sacrifice. It comes, and that's what comes with it. But it's worth it. You don't hold nothing over somebody else's head. You just realize that the sacrifice that it comes with is worth it. Once you stop trying to be somebody who is idolizing a lot of different things, you actually appreciate the company you keep. So, with that being said, I think I'm about to figure out who's winning this game. I think San Antonio was up. Probably try to work on some music later on. About to try to get some. Probably try to work out before I go to sleep. Got to work tomorrow. But yeah, make sure y'all stay tuned. I plan on getting back on here tomorrow with another video. So make sure y'all follow me, like, and subscribe. Free game. D Loui. Find me on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube. Plenty of music out. And like I said, I got a couple of songs that I haven't put out yet, but right now I'm just probably I think I might cook up an EP, and then I don't know, probably next year I might drop another album. So far I got two of them out. I'm gonna probably let them sit and cook. All right, peace.